All right, I wanted to do one more little look here. This is the blue sheet from the Rainbow Review, and the thing that's going on here is domain, and natural log especially is one we didn't talk a lot about, so I want to talk about these. So 1 over x, if we graph it, the pew-pew graph, that is good for everything except for 0. So negative infinity to 0 is good. And then also 0 to infinity is good, but not at 0. That's the only spot you can't do it. Okay, so there's our first one. Natural log. Natural log, remember, looks like this. Asymptote at 0, so we don't touch it. So this is good from 0 to infinity, but not including 0. Root x, similar, but just a little different. This has a domain of bracket 0 infinity, because you can get to that 0. Alright, so we're going to use these pieces kind of as building blocks to do some more of these. So now I've got ln of x plus 3. So two ways we can think about this. The algebraic way is whatever I plug into natural log better be positive. So that means this x plus 3 block needs to be positive. So I'd say x plus 3 got to be greater than 0. Not greater than or equal, because you can't take the log of 0. But x plus 3 has got to be greater than 0. That means x is greater than negative 3, which means we have open parentheses negative 3 infinity. Next up, we got root 2x minus 1. So square root, as we had up here, can only be positive numbers. So what I'm going to do for this square root of 2x minus 1 is I'm going to say, well, I know that 2x minus 1 has to be positive, because I'm looking for the domain here. If at 2x minus 1, if this gives me out a negative number, I can't plug it into the root. It won't work, because that'll give me a root of a negative number, which isn't real. So we're going to add 1 to both sides. So we got 2x greater than 1. Then we divide by 2. X is 1/2. That's it. Sorry, not equals. Must be getting tired. X has got to be greater than 1/2, which in interval notation would be parentheses 1/2, comma, infinity. There we go. Much better. All right, we got 4 more on the back. Really, I just wanted to do domain and range here because it trips people up. So once again, whatever's inside of natural log, I'm going to make it greater than 0. So 5 minus x greater than 0, because natural log is the one with the asymptote. Okay, so now I'm just going to add x to both sides. So I got 5 greater than x. Usually we flip that around, right? X is less than 5. Cool. So interval notation, negative infinity, 5 parentheses. All right, next up we got 1 over x plus 6. The only thing that's a danger here is negative 6. X can't be negative 6. So we got negative infinity up to negative 6, union negative 6, infinity. Nice. Okay, the next one's kind of an interesting one. We got the sine of root x over 5 minus 3x. So there's a couple things at play here. One is we know root x, we have x must be greater than or equal to 0. So bracket 0. Bracket 0 infinity. And that's because no matter what comes out of the square root, I can plug it into sine. As long as it's a real number, that's all I need. Then 5 minus 3x, I don't want it to be equal to 0. So we're going to solve that. So we get 5 can't be 3x, which means x can't be equal to 5/3. Okay, so now we're going to break this up then. Because 5/3 is a positive number, I have to. If this was like x plus 7 on the bottom, I wouldn't have to worry about this, because negative 7 isn't even in the domain for root x. Okay, so we got bracket 0. We're going to stop at 5/3. Union 5/3 to infinity. Cool. All right. So let's take a look at this last one here. We got natural log negative x plus 2 over root x. So for natural log negative x plus 2, I need negative x plus 2 to be greater than 0. So let's add x to both sides. 2 greater than x. So that gives us x is less than 2. So negative infinity up to 2, but not including it. And then we have an issue here. So for root x, I know x must be greater than or equal to 0. So that'd be bracket 0 infinity. But I know I have to be between negative infinity and 2. So I'm kind of layering these together. And the last piece is that it can't be 0. So I'm going to change this to actually parentheses 0 infinity. Okay, so layered together here, the only overlap I get, this negative infinity to 2 would look like this, an open circle. This 0 to infinity would look like this. Here's 0. Can go all the way to infinity, an open circle. So the only overlap I get here would be from 0 to 2. Open circle, open circle. So that'd be open parentheses 0, comma 2. And that's it. So hopefully this is helpful for a little domain stuff, and ask me if you have more questions.